And we're back for round 2 of 3. These are Swiss, so win or lose, you get your 3 rounds. It's only 6 tickets to enter. I cannot overstate how awesome these are if you just want to practice sealed. On the draw, I think I'm okay with this. We've got 1 into 2, like we can block stuff, we can potentially attack. We need to hit another land, but there's lands in the deck. So I think we're going to keep this. I again think 2-lander on the draw is fine. It could be better, but it's all right. Our opponent also went to 6 on the play, so we kind of get a free card that way. That is not a card I like in sealed very much. That said, we're not going to have an easy time blocking it, but meh. We could draw a mountain and burn from within it. And he could sack it and draw a card. The combos. That guy is so insolent. Did I not click the OK button? I thought I did. What are you doing, Moto? So I can move my cards around. Ah! Moto. Moto. I do so love this game. But sometimes the things that happen are crazy. All right, let's get this back up. Draw phase. Let's move to our main phase. Let's play a throbbing gargoyle and pass a turn. So black-red looks like they may be doing some aggro-y things, which generally speaking the gargoyle's good against. Like I'm not thinking that a 1/1 menace is going to wreck us here. All is fine. I don't think I want to burn from within a Frog Master. I obviously can't trade the Hinterland Logger for it. But I can trade a Gurgle for it. And if they go to flip and we decide it's a problem, we can burn from within it then if we need to. That thing's impossibly hard to block. Once they flip it into a 3/2 with like 2 points of first strike. And it's when it blocks or becomes blocked, right? Yeah, it's both. It's like we can't even attack into it whether he flips or not, we can't attack into it. All right. So if I don't burn from within this turn, then I may not be able to use it later. I'm pseudo interested in burning this. Now, why are you thinking about things like this, Travis? Well, our opponent mulliganed, and I kind of need to get their stuff that could win the game off the board. Like, we've got Witch next turn. If I burn this, I get to attack, which is neat. But this is something that could eventually kill me. So is the Forge Master, though. Let's kill that and attack. Is that just dumb? Yeah, that's really dumb, because that's what the Pack Guardian is for. Right? Like, I can trade the Accursed Witch for that. If they flip it, the twins will solve that problem. Let's be patient and kill the thing that could actually kill me. Which is this. Like, they've got 3 cards and they mulliganed. We've got an extra card. We just need time to deploy them. So let's make sure that we actually have that time. I could have attacked with the Logger if I wanted to. Except they would have blocked it with this and just killed it, so I couldn't have. So I could have, I mean, it would have been really stupid if I'd done it. Like, from what we've seen so far, there's some sort of aggro deck, and we just want to, like, hit our land drops, resolve things that are bigger than anything they can deal with, and kill them. As long as they're not attacking, I feel like we're in pretty good shape. Forest would be great. Swamp is acceptable, though. Swamp is acceptable. That means at the very least we can resolve the twins next turn and trade it with that if we need to. Like if they're going to start attacking with the 3-2 and we can start swinging back with 4-2s, I think we're in good shape. I don't want to just suicide the witch in there. Right now we can't block this. It just kills all of our stuff. Okay. That's interesting. So I'm going to swing with the two things that can swing and then play the twins and I think be happy. Like if you want to trade this for one of my dudes, that's fine by me. And like, we'll have the Gurgle able to attack next turn. Which I think is probably our game plan. Okay. You kind of got the same effect. I guess they wanted to draw the card. So sure. 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 I mean, it gets you your life back and you get some zombie tokens, but we can handle zombie tokens. I was going to say a forest would have been fantastic there, but I think we need to go to the air and plan on block and trade. Like, we're going to have to deal the damage somehow. And I suppose technically we've still got to land a discard to the Pack Guardian. Like, they could have kept the 1/1, but I guess they decided it wasn't really good on this board. 1 mana, deal 1 damage to your opponent, draw a card. Maybe that's okay. I haven't played much with Insolent Neonate unless it was in a dedicated Vampires draft deck, which I've said a billion times, and I'll probably say a billion more. I don't think Vampires is an aggro deck. I think it is a combo deck. Oh, they have asked us a question. This is going to be a problem unless we hit that forest. I think we go ahead and trade off Le Witch. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9, bringing us to 7. We swing back for 8. Against a red deck. I think I just want to trade this off. So let's do the math again. 6, 7, 8, 9, bringing us to 7. We swing for 8, bringing them to 5. If I have the Pack Guardian and play it, remember we're at 7, and I block and block, we take 2 more and probably lose to a combat trick. So there's no reason not to get the Witch going. We got to hit that forest now, but since we did, I think we're in pretty good shape. So now we'll block a zombie, take 3, and then have lethal, depending on what they play, obviously. So like, this just gives us lethal on board, and we'll always have the option to trade that later. If they have the double strike card, it doesn't kill us, because it would be 4 doubled, which is 8. They'd have to have 2 tricks to get us. So I don't think I'm going to play around that. Now here they have to trade their Arsonist for our Pack Guardian, unless they have a trick. And if it's the 1 mana trick, I'd rather them use it now than then, and then we'll play our own Arsonists. And here we 100% block if they attack. Because we don't want to put ourselves just dead to +1/+1 and double strike. So 0% chance I don't block that. All right. I think they had it. It makes sense that it would go in that deck. So we'll need to be aware of that. Some of our more aggressive cards I might want to take out in this matchup, especially now that we're going on the draw. Like, I still like the Aristocrat, Sanitarium, Skeleton. All of these things still do work. I'm not sure I love the Olivia's Bloodsworn. Like, I might just prefer something bigger, anything bigger than that. Because I think our key is stabilizing and then getting big, not trying to race them with 2/1s in the air. It's not absurd to run something like Shambleback. Something's going to die, the life will be relevant, the token will be relevant. I don't love the card, though. Provisioner's okay. It pumps some of our stuff and leaves behind a relevant body. But I still don't love that card. And I want it to be a creature. I may just want another Bob. Like, Bob is not exciting. But Bob attacks and blocks. And he handles a lot of the creatures our opponent was attacking with. Stupid wolves or 2/1s that deal damage. Yeah, I think this guy just kind of does everything I want. Whereas Olivia's Bloodsworn is neat and has some synergies and shenanigans. And it can get big with the Aristocrat. And it can give haste to the twins. But that's not what we're doing in this game. We've already got a 2/1 flyer if we want it that combos with some of our other cards. Yeah, let's do the thing. More Bob, more value. Well, now this hand has an interesting plan. I think we keep that all day long. Discard stuff to Call of the Bloodline and buy it back with Ever After. Fork in the Road into Bob. So good. We don't want them to come out like crazy aggressive on us, but if we get a little bit of time with this hand, we can do a lot of things. All the Bobs. All right. Let's get forked. Swamp. Swamp. Interesting. They're black-green now. They were not black-green before. So we're basically taking 2 in the air for a little bit. We are okay with this. Next turn we can call the Bloodline, toss a land, and play a Bob and get it back. Sure, buddy. Give me targets for my Ever After. That's a little bit of a problem. We can kind of chump it indefinitely, but, well, our problem just got a lot easier. So these 2 cards together are kind of unbeatable. It takes a little while to get going. But I think I like call, discard a land, next turn, get the Aristocrat going. But like, if we're going to do this, we should probably start doing it now. And I've got the Ever After to get the Aristocrat back. So let's just toss a land here, toss a land on their turn, untap with the Aristocrat, and win the game. It's like, you can't race that. They can hold back and block, but the longer they take to deal with it, the more likely we are to recover. Still not enough. God, just drawing more and more lands is fantastic. So now we can discard another land. Make this guy. Play the aristocrat. I want to be able to sack one of these, which means I can't play the Bob this turn. But I can sack one of these to make everybody a 2/2 lifelink. Maybe I shouldn't have made that. Alright, he's going to deal 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I may actually have to... Well, I can block with one and sack it, and then block the other two here, and at least trade them off. And then still have this guy in play as huge. And we've got Stoic Builder, get back stuff, block other things. Yeah, I think we're fine here for now. Because I can always sack the stuff I block with. If we need to. Like, this is the dream. We need to hold for one more turn. And we are in business. Oh god, he's not even attacking on the ground. That is so good. Alright, I do want this land in play because I want to Ever After eventually. So we're going to Bob, get back another land to discard. And then we've got discard a dude, make 3/3s at this point. Like we're like half turn away from being able to get him. I can even Ever After the Bob's back and get more lands. But I think we just save that as a release valve. Like, once these guys are 4/4s, we can attack with them, and we're pretty close to being able to do that. All right, Bob, I'm going to miss you, but thanks for all the work you've done. Yeah, I'd rather just have more lifelinkers here. So I've got to get them to 5/5s, which means I'd have to sack 2 dudes. We've got to start attacking eventually. But I can attack with 1, make a dude, sack 2 things. Like, we've got to start gaining the life. I could also just play a 6/6, but, I mean, when I've got the Ever After and it'll get it back, I think we're fine. Let's attack with 1 of these because we need the life. And we'll see how he blocks, and then decide exactly what we want to do with the sacrifice shenanigans. We're nowhere close to winning this game, but we're in pretty good shape otherwise. So I can sacrifice 2 things to kill it, or I can just kind of accept that we trade with this and be okay with it. I'm kind of okay with that. Like, I just wanted to gain some life. Like, is trading with 2 cards by sacrificing this and that a good idea? I don't think so. Sure, you got me. You can even have your clue, buddy. Like, the zombies are pseudo-irrelevant. And we're just going to discard anything we draw to feed the vampires from now on. Ridding Wood's an interesting one, but I mean, I think I like just tossing it too. So we attack with this guy, he gang blocks, we trade it for both of the zombies. I'm okay with that. I guess I could cast this, pop the clue, but I don't have enough to do, because it's 1, 2, 3 to cast, and then I'd have 4. Pop the clue, I've only got 2, so I couldn't make another dude and then do a thing. But I still feel like we have to start attacking with this guy. If we end up trading it for both the zombies, that's okay. It's probably okay if we end up trading it for a trick too. I don't want to trade it for one of the zombies. But I think that's where we are. Like, this should be a healthy enough life cushion that we can chillax. We've also got our other dude at a 5/5. Do I just bite the bullet and get a big pig and a bob? I probably need to do that. Like, now I can just attack with this and throttle it. That's actually a pretty good exchange too. I could attack with both if I'm going to do that. But he probably puts both of them in front of it, and then we get this out of the way, and we just kind of run over him. Let's do that. Well, if you're going to take it, I changed my mind. I do want a zombie bob. And more food for the vampires. So there's a 6/6 trample pig, a zombie bob, and some vampire food. Zombie bob! Watcher in the web don't care. So we've got throttle plus make a dude, not throttle plus sack a dude. I mean, if we attack with this, he's going to block it. I guess he could just take it. We're fine with that too. I think I'm pretty far away from wanting a 4/2 flyer, so I'm just going to make a vampire and start this chain going again. We'll leave up throttle. We'll probably sack Bob, make another vampire and sack Bob into turn and just get all this lifelink going. Like, eventually this guy will get big enough that we can start attacking with him too. Thank you for your support, Bob. You can go back to being a dead zombie now. Oh, that's so good. So good. Think we still attack first. Because we may need to throttle here. No? Okay. Like, we're protected from a deep spell by being able to throttle this guy, so like combat tricks don't get us. We can block. No, buddy, that's not playable. It's just not a good card. I mean, you shouldn't be doing that. Why would you do that? I think now we go in with the big boy too. Although probably not. Like, why would you do that? Just sit here and chillax. Alright, which one do we want gone? Probably this one, because everything will get bigger than that. We're a little vulnerable to a combat trick here, but our vampires are going to keep growing. Like, there'll be 3/3s next turn. We can start attacking with them. I'm going a little slower than I might need to here, but we've got our long-term grindy game engine going. That's a problem. And that it's huge, and we have basically no way to deal with it. But we have them at 7. I guess we can eventually get our stuff bigger than theirs, but it's going to take a while. Like, we can block it. Alright, we can waltz back the pig. We can waltz back the gargoyle. If I'd known they were going to do this, that would be a different story. I mean, like, at some point we can probably just gang block this thing. What happens if I swing team? He just eats our dude and then does bad stuff. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I kind of want this guy to die before I play the waltz. And this is probably just fine as flashing in and then getting sacked. So I guess we pass and just give ourselves some time here. We know what our last card is. We'll eventually draw that. Okay, we're not scared of a 4/4 hexproof, I don't think. Alright, we keep pumping the team. To the slaughter. I mean, that just gets rid of a token, which is not great. We do have delirium. But I mean, I guess we may as well just kill their token, or probably just pump our guys again. He's looking for rabbit bite, he says. We can still have enough stuff to block that. It feels like we should eventually get bigger than this Hydra. Funny, the life he gained from that graph mole is going to prevent us from just burning him out. We can burn the spider and then start to get ahead that way, but my guys are getting bigger. I didn't sack that end of turn because I'm an idiot, but that's okay. Don't need to be smart. Yeah, none of my cards do anything. I ain't got nothing here. I can now sack enough stuff that a rabbit bite doesn't get me. Okay, it doesn't have trample. It just means it's going to take longer for us to get through that thing. Do I even want that in play? I'm probably just going to sack it. I guess the menace is pseudo-relevant because it means you'll have to trade with something if he doesn't flip it. Like, it'll at least get one of his other creatures off the board, which can enable us to do a gang swing. It'll probably just be a token. But I mean, we could waltz that back, potentially. It has menace. Something else has got to get in front of it. Alright, we traded it for a token. So do I just grow my guy, or do I get back that arsonist? I guess I could get back the arsonist and a bob, discard a land, still have plenty of stuff to sacrifice to these guys. We're putting ourselves vulnerable to rabid bite, but I want to eventually get to the point where we can do something here. Era Falconwrath starts to become a problem. I mean, we can start sending these guys in for 7 life if we ever really need to. If we can't deal with that Watcher, though, we can't really swarm our opponent. Good God. Really? Alright, this may just go to time, but we'll see. That's a lot of zombies. We know we can't get decked. So, like, one out is to attempt to deck our opponent. I may as well just play that. I think we're fine here. I haven't bothered to do the math, but I know we can't really attack into him because Spider's still there and he's at 19 life. All right, you're swinging with the team, huh? All right. All right, so... All right, let's try to do this intelligently. So we'll block there and eat that. Block a zombie here, that's easy. Block a zombie here, gain some life. Block a zombie here, gain some life. We're going to pump our vampires by sacrificing Bob, so we may as well eat all of these. So I think this makes sense. Mutation on the Hydra? Sure. You're not even going to gain any life off of that. I think he just gave me more life than he dealt me. And left me with a pretty good board. Like, we can swing back from here. I gotta have something to chump that with. The Accursed Witch looks pretty good for that job. I guess he could be looking to hit a Murderous Compulsion to kill this, but I don't think that's going to help him. Yeah, I've still got Chump, and I'm at a super high life total after this connects. I think that was probably just getting sick of the game continuing and wanting it to end. But that's why I didn't scoop when our opponent resolved the other thing. Like, time is a consideration, but I still think we can win here. Like, that puts us up to 54. I'd say we're in good shape. And now the thing that we were worried about is out of the way. I mean, that sucks that he drew that. But I think the Aristocrat did its job. Let's just play quickly and get done with this. He's got 5, 6 blockers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers. We kill everything except for the Hydra. If we swing here, which I think is probably pretty good. He could arrange some gang blocks, but he's going to eat one of our dudes. We're at 54. I can pass a turn. If he doesn't cast anything next turn, it lets us attack with this and that and a wolf token. And I'm down to 6 minutes, so we just need to probably focus on playing quickly more so than anything else. If we attack with the team, though. But I don't think he's going to kill me before he draws the rest of his deck. I could be wrong. And like I said, we can't deck, and Crow handles that, so sure. We know the bottom card of our deck is the Ever After, so we don't have to worry about milling it when we cast that. But if you want to sit and stare and draw your last 8 cards, we can do that. This is getting intense. Maybe he thinks he's going to mill me out. But he's not. All right, we've got Burn from Within for what good it does us, which is not much. Yeah, I think we just win by decking here. May as well attack with that. It's got Menace. It'll at least trade for something. Probably 3 zombies, but it does start to do a thing. Or probably 1 zombie. Sure. We'll hold a card to discard. It doesn't matter here. We're just timing out. Oh god, they can't deck either. Now it is going to go to time. Alright, that means we're going to have to play this a little differently and actually trade off that witch. This is what Shadows over Innistrad is all about, my friends. We can burn their golem. That's probably worth doing. If we're going to try to mill them out, which I still think is our plan. Because we're not going to kill them in time. Alright, now it's the good old F6 battles, and then we're just going to cast our spell as fast as we can. God, it doesn't matter, Travis, just F6. If I had more time, we could do more with this, but I don't. Also of note, it's up to 2, so we never have to mill. Will they have another one? Don't cast the Crow of Dark Tidings, Travis. That's not going to kill me in time. Huh? We don't really ever get any mana to do anything else because I have to keep casting these things. But I feel like as long as we're blocking, we're fine. Yep. You've assembled the Wombo combo. I don't think you can kill me, but I might be wrong. I guess we'll find out. And then I'll have like 2 seconds left to win a game. So none of these guys actually matter. I technically get another blocker if I get the Stoic Builder and discard a land, so let's do that. Alright, I have a feeling they're just going to swing with the team here. And then we'll just very quickly assign blockers and be done with this. I'm not going to be too concerned about what blocks what. We just need to make sure everything's blocked and do it in under 4 minutes. All right, we'll take the same tactic we took last time of getting the Stoic Builder and sure, a Hinterland Logger. And now we just F6, draw them out of their deck. If we wanted to go back and look, we could know what their last card was. We don't actually need to. It's a Watcher. That's not going to kill us. That is how Magic was intended to be played. Clearly. So, I hope our opponent plays happily ever after. I can't quite make a pun out of that. But we do have a Boar Horror Zombie. And a Wolf Spirit Zombie. I'd block it all day, buddy. There was never a moment where I had a card in hand that I cared about. But it kind of doesn't matter. We got that. That was a strange game. All right, I'll see you for the finals in just a moment.